From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Welcome to Random Talk. I'm Jim Arnold, the Collectaholic. Yeah, Paul. Nice going there, buddy. Paul just grabbed his microphone and the thing spun like Planet X around the world. I got hit in the head with the other microphone.
And I'm Paul Cox, Dr. Chiropractic from Newport Richie.
Expert of spinning microphones, right?
That's right. It wasn't anything like I was spinning at the casino the other night.
Yeah, I hear. So, big night at the casino, huh?
Well, it was a big night for you. It was your birthday down in Ybor City, and we had a lot of fun down at some of the drinking establishments down there. And then
nothing like celebrating my birthday in Ybor City at the Ybor City Night Parade.
That was fun.
And with some of my buddies down there, like Dr. Paul, of doing some drinking, and then what? You went over and sat in the Kiss bar over there.
Yeah, went over to the casino and
had Gene
donated
Simmons
some money.
Stick his tongue in your ear, or what?
No, I don't know what her name was, but no,
she stuck some tongue in her ear, right?
I don't remember, to tell you the truth, Jimmy. That's
a great bar over there, by the way. When you sit there at the four posts, they got those Kiss guys.
Yeah.
So did you lose your car or what?
I didn't win a car. I lost 100 or so.
Huh?
Not too much.
If you can go over there and that's all you lose, it's like a night out. I mean, you'd spend that much.
It was fun.
Drinking. The only thing, they don't give you free drinks over there, though.
That's the problem.
In Vegas, they're pushing drinks on you.
They're comping and everything.
So if you lose 100 in Vegas, so what? It's like drinks that you would have bought.
That's right. But how did you do? How was Gauchos for the
Great
parade?
I mean, the whole weekend was pretty good. The parade, we got down there on Saturday. Of course, we got down there on Friday, and they had a pub crawl, and it's got five of the crews. I'm a gaucho, and we're trying to get you to be a gaucho. And there's like 5 other crews: the Rough Riders, F Troop, some women's crews, and then they meet at a place, and a lot of these guys pay $25. Then you get a buffet. We ate at some place, and so we didn't pay. And then you just go on and buy your drinks as you go on, and there's at least 300 people. So you're just drinking, partying with everybody, and then you move to the next bar, and the next bar, and they got about 10, 15 bars participating. They have specials. But after about 4 or 5 bars, everybody goes back to their favorite bar or something, and then that's when we went and got something to eat. And then we went back to the one favorite bar, and there's some of the other buddies, they never left. They got wrapped up in this conversation, this random talk, and and they're there all night. And hell, I got home at 3 a.m. But we were staying at the hotel there, and then got up, got breakfast at the hotel, went back and took a nap, and got up at 2:30 and got my costume on, met you at the one restaurant there, and then went to the float. And then the pre-parade is like another pub crawl. You're just going from float to float, and there's 100 floats pub crawling, and did the parade. And I gotta tell you, I was pretty worn out by it. I'm getting old, man. It's my birthday, and I'm getting old.
Well, I saw you about 1:30 in the morning at the Hilton, and you were still doing pretty good.
Well, I didn't say I was that old, but but I'm starting to feel these parades. When I got up on Sunday, and I was sore, man. I almost need you need to get like a machine that rolls over your body.
That's right. You need a massage after you do all of that.
Yeah, there was, the one girl that used to be in your crew, used to be in the crew of Chaska. She does massage therapy.
She's still in it.
I know she's been trying to get me to come and get a massage for. She gave me a little back massage for my birthday.
She's pretty good, Julie.
Yeah. I was gonna go up there. Marsha's actually gonna go this week because of the the ball, the Chaska Balls is Friday.
Friday night. That's right.
Excuse me.
She was she elected for
Marsha's nominated for Queen. And of course, and our other buddies nominated for King.
John. Yeah.
And I'm not, I'd never get nominated for anything, but
we don't need to get nominated. They know who
people
we
like
are.
us don't get nominated.
They know who we are,
right, Paul?
That's right.
Yeah, people like us don't get nominated. We just show up and provide the entertainment for the evening with our random talk. Hey, call on in, folks, at 727-441-3000 and interact with us. We want to talk about what you want to talk about. We had some lively callers last week. Have them call back, and let's continue the conversation. Or go to www.tantalk1340.com. Check on our program. Email us about topics you want to talk about, or go to my website and or email me at and you'll get a 15% off, $15 gift certificate, and a if you go to the website, you'll get $15 off your purchase just by typing in a secret password that I will give you if you email. And you can get, I'm going to give you a free will of the day. You can get Marilyn Monroe's will or death certificate, or John F. Kennedy's, or...
We've still got a couple of those left, so...
Yeah, they're downloads, so you just download them, and you can see how she really died, or Nicole Simpson, and all the 150 knife things. And you can see an imprint of the glove, the magical glove on her.
Hey, by the way, what's the latest on this Malaysia Airplane? Do you know?
I thought we weren't going to talk about that today. Well, the latest thing that I heard was that two things. It either it looks like somebody hijacked it, no matter what. And then two things. Either it disappeared, they stole it for future use, or it blew up. In the midst of them hijacking it, something happened on board, and it just blew up. But I guess there's the engines, which are Rolls-Royce engines, they put like a signal out. And then once the signal stopped, that means it's turned off or it's disintegrated. And they haven't been able to find it at that point. So they take the time that those engines turned off, and then they do a radius, and they're searching in the area.
Well, Thailand just popped up with some new information today.
Oh, that's really?
Yeah, they said that. Yeah, we got a beep. It was on our armed forces radar, and so this is 10 days after the event. They're finally coughing up some information. This is getting so ugly now that. Well, that's and then we're probably all making a big deal out of nothing because this plane probably went down and there's nothing left of it.
Well, that's the other thing, is that these countries aren't coming forth with all the information. I follow some of these ancient mystery sites, and there was a conspiracy theory thing going on that Putin's taken this it's become part of the Crimea or whatever, Crimea Peninsula. He's made that part a stroke of the pen today, this morning. He made it part of Russia. Now it's going to be they've issued a decree to make all these new Russian maps that include that Crimean Peninsula. And he told Joe Biden, back off, man, because when you put that spring and you keep pressing that spring, sooner or later, it's going to spring back. and it's going to spring back on him and trim his hair.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's right or wrong, but the Crimean people said that they want to be part of Russia.
Well, if they want to be part of it, well, right now, my opinion is that first of all, we are war tired. We've been fighting for big wars for a long time, so I think our country's a little war tired. But I'm sick of these governments. Okay, they had an uprising there, and they put a government in place, just like they did in Egypt, just like they did in Iraq, just like they did in Afghanistan. And then here, a couple years later, or 5 years later, these governments get overthrown. Or like, look at in Iraq, all that money we spent, and we put this government in place, and then they kick us out, and then they get overthrown. And the same thing with Karzai in Afghanistan. He wants us out of there, and he's taking money under the table and all this. And in Egypt, I was in Egypt and when it was under dictatorship, and the place was great. They loved Americans. It was a dictatorship, but the food was good. The place was great. They loved Americans. Now they get overthrown, and you got a military, which is part of that dictatorship, and you got a free guy elected, but it was part of the, the Muslim Arab League or whatever.
Yeah, the Muslim Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood, yeah, the Brotherhood, man. And and now they got overthrown, and now you can't even go there, man. And they're going back. When I went there, they respected Americans, they respected women. And now you go there and you see these reporters are getting raped out there. They don't respect women. They got a war. There's a war going on. And a lot of people don't even know this. There's a war going on Christianity. And these Coptic Christians there are getting murdered. They're not just torturing these people. They're murdering. They're going back into like ancient times where they have to celebrate their masses in somebody's house's basement or something, because if they get caught, they're going to kill them.
Yeah, but Jim, would you rather be tortured or just killed?
I'm going to Canada, and I did not excel.
So
I'd rather be killed.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to be tortured.
I don't want to be hanged by my toenails.
Do you want to be tortured or you want to be killed?
Well, is it torture and then you die at the end of the torture? Is it torture and you get to live after they're done pulling your fingernails off?
You don't get a choice. You get either
you're gonna die.
Kill me or torture.
You're gonna
me.
die either way. Yeah. Just kill
so
me.
what's the difference?
If
you're gonna torture you and you're gonna live, then I probably get tortured.
Yeah, even though that would suck pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hey, life's a torture, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I saw the funniest thing talking about Egypt. Did you see 60 Minutes on Sunday night?
No.
They have this Jon Stewart look-alike. Well, he doesn't really look like him, but this guy is a cardiologist.
On 60 Minutes?
A surgeon, and he started a TV show just like Jon Stewart's on Comedy Central. And this guy is hilarious. And I can't remember what the Brotherhood's leader was. It might be a Sissy or something like that is his name. But he goes and he's on TV, and he comes into the studio dressed just like Sissy, who was the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood and leader of Egypt. And he had this really extravagant gown on, dressed identical, and he had a little hat on. But the guy who's doing the TV show has this big, huge Mad Hatter hat on, and it was hilarious. And he's really got a pretty cool show. I would love to watch.
This
a whole
is on
show.
60 Minutes.
It's on 60 Minutes because now they're blocking his show, so he can't get on the TV anymore. And they don't know how they're blocking it, but he can't get the TV show produced, and the government's shutting him down. But This guy is hilarious. I mean,
I haven't watched
he's a
60
comedian.
Minutes in years. I don't, in this generation, we're starting to get away from watching the big three and do more cable, more streaming, on demand type watching TV. And 60 Minutes was always one of those shows that's like, is this Mountain Dew got too many calories in it? It's going to hurt you. And their investigation, more of a investigation type thing.
I don't usually
like
watch
Erin
it either.
Brockovich, all those people that died, and investigating into the company and the evils of were they dumping stuff, and did they have nuclear waste and all of that stuff. But I haven't seen where they had like humorous stuff on there.
That was really funny. It was it wasn't really about the show. It was more about him as a person and how he was really antagonizing the Egyptian government and leaders, and it was hilarious. I mean, it was really funny.
I'll tell you, have you ever been over there? Have you ever been?
I've never been to Egypt. I have been to Africa. I've been
Where'd you go in Africa?
Libya.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your purpose?
I wanted to meet Gaddafi.
Come on.
No, there was an Air Force base over there. My dad was in the service. So,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's something. No, we went there, on a trip, and we went there, and then we did the Nile River cruise, and then you had to go across the Sudan to visit Abu Simbel. And at that time, tourism is like their number one product. And now it's shut down because nobody wants to go. They're scared. They're going to get killed. And, the pyramids are like right outside Cairo.
Yeah.
And but when I was there, it was amazing. That's where I want to be buried. I'm going to get
Is that right?
cremated. And I told Marsha I want her to toss my ashes on the Great Pyramid. And that way, when she sees that, she knows Jimmy's there. In fact, if you go in that Great Pyramid up at the top, I scratched my name in there with the picture of Kilroy, and it says Jimmy was here. I'm serious, I did.
I bet you did.
I did. That's why they're having an uprising right now.
Well, I heard you mention Erin Brockovich. Julia Roberts was the star for.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag here, but this day in history, Julia Roberts was the first female actress to collect $20 million for a motion picture, and it was Erin Brockovich was that picture.
What year was that?
Let's see. It was 2000.
2000.
Yeah, year 2000. And it was at that time, there was a lot of male stars like Mel Gibson, Tom Hanks, and Tom Cruise, and Sylvester Stallone that were making $20 million, but no women. And she was the first woman that got 20. And it was about that Erin Brockovich, and
I remember
that was a true story. She worked for an energy company, Pacific Gas and Electric. And they had they actually poisoned the water around one of the plants, causing hundreds of people to contract cancer. And it was pursued by Brockovich and her boss, and then they made this film about it. And so I think I only saw the film once. I don't even remember. It's not my kind of film. I did see a couple of films here recently, though. I saw RoboCop, the new RoboCop.
Yeah.
I went on my, sometimes I have a double night when I go out.
Yeah.
And Marcia only, she doesn't want to see these sci-fi movies, so I go and see them myself. And I'm a movie buff, so I went and saw RoboCop and 300, the 300 2, whatever it's called, and I thought RoboCop was really good. My son kept telling me that the reviews were bad.
Yeah.
But I saw it. It was funny. they capitalized on. They got more into depth of what the old RoboCop with Peter Weller.
Yeah.
And then the evil character was Michael Keaton. He was the evil businessman in this, and he played that much better than the other guy that was in the old movie. And this was a really, it was good. It was funny. It fast moving, got right to the point. That one of the most scenes that I remember was, did you ever see the old RoboCop?
Of course.
That was the only movie that was rated at XXX for violence, and
Wow.
So they toned it down to get an R rating. They had to cut some of the scenes out, but this one, after he signs up for the program to be made an android or whatever they call it, he wakes up, and there's a scientist. The actual doctor that's making him is more interactive with him in this movie. And he wakes up and he's like, what's going on? And he breaks out of the building, and there's all kinds of workers like making other robots. And then he gets out of the thing and starts running through rice fields. So this is like in China. And he's sprinting through these rice fields with all these people working out there, and then they shut him down, and they got to go pick him up. So it's like he's in this huge factory out in China somewhere. And it really, visually, that was really good. And that's all done with CG graphics. And then, of course, I don't want to be a spoiler for you, but it was a good movie. It's interactive, fast-moving, not a lot of dead space. I'd recommend it to anybody. And then, of course, they got the Robo Cup to go with it, and it says on there, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me." And
Do you sell that one?
I haven't decided if I want to sell this yet. It's only $14. You can get it for $14.99, and for me, it's not that much of a profit maker. I can buy it. It cost me almost $10 to buy it, so I'm only making $5, and then you take a chance on how many are you going to sell.
50,000.
And if you sell it on eBay, you got to pay them 15%, and you're not going to sell 50,000 of them. You probably sell 10, and it depends on how popular the movie is. Because if the movie dies, you're stuck with the product. Now I saw 300 too, and of course, that Frank Miller is the artist on that, and that the graphics are just outstanding.
Yeah, they're really good.
And the story was a little, the story was a little. It took a while to develop what actually it is they're doing there, but the graphics were great. But maybe watching two movies in one night is kind of pushing it.
That was probably
like
pushing
coming out and then going back in. But I thought RoboCop was actually better than that one. So what do you got? What else you got?
I told you I saw Nonstop with Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
And it was okay. He's getting older, and he's a sky marshal on a plane, and somebody's going to kill somebody every 20 minutes.
No.
And I don't want to give away the story, but anyway, it's a fight to get through this flight, and it's pretty interesting. It was okay. It was all right.
I want to see that. I want to see that, and I want to see that 3 Days to a Kill.
I saw 3 Days to a Kill, and I like that more than Nonstop.
Why aren't you asking me to go see these things with him?
Because you're not my type.
Oh, okay.
I usually just do it at a spur of a moment. I'm say, well, what do I feel like doing?
Well, I live 2 blocks from you. Literally, yeah. Literally can do anything.
Okay, Jimmy. The next time I go, I'll call you.
Okay. Thank you, Paul.
So what do we got next coming up here? I like this story here. Gareth Morgan, he's a philanthropist from Wellington, New Zealand, has come up with a really unique way to get rid of the rat explosion that's happening in this area of New Zealand. And he has decided to give people or students, he's offering the college students free beer coupons for every rat they bring in.
Really?
Isn't that a pretty novel idea?
Well, is it working?
It doesn't say.
Oh, I think that's novel. If
But
they
I
got
think
a
it's
big problem.
pretty neat.
What about what's that animal out there in New Zealand that they? In New Zealand they still got Aborigines out there that eat.
I don't think in New Zealand. I think in Australia, but New Zealand is really
What's that? New Guinea. That's
New
what
Guinea.
It is.
That's the one you're talking about. Yes, and but New Zealand, didn't they film some of the what's that called? What are those little short people and The Hobbit and all like that?
Oh
there?
yeah, a lot of those Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit is filmed over in New Zealand.
What beautiful scenery!
So yeah, it's a big tourist destination.
It's a big chiropractic country too.
Really, I didn't know that.
In Australia, real big.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't know that. Yeah, well, that kind of falls in line with the. Did you see in the news this week a lot of people from that parade downtown there. Well, the college kids went back to the college over here, and they came up with this thing. They had a dog drinking beer out of the keg, and they had it tipped up. They got it upside down.
The dog?
They took a black lab. It's a black Labrador, and they had it upside down, forced drinking out of the keg, and they were taking pictures of it and putting it on YouTube. And when the cops were called in for animal cruelty to the kids, and they asked the kids, why, grasshopper, were you doing this? And they said, well, we were told if we fed a dog with beer, we would get gift certificates for a 6-pack of beer to get rid of rats. Because if we force feed a dog with beer, then when it goes to the bathroom, it squirts rat stuff all over the lawn, and it gets rid of pest control.
Hey, did you hear about the world's hottest chili burger?
I did read that a little bit. Isn't that something?
Yeah, it happened over in England. And this guy named Nick Gambardella, he owned the place called Burger Off, and he made these XXX hot chili burgers. And he ended up sending, I don't know,
I think it's six people. I think
five or six people to the hospital. One had really perforated bowel, and the other four had.
How can you get a perforated bowel of the from eating like hot sauce?
Well, it can irritate the bowel so bad that it could rupture.
So the actual chemicals that are in there to give you like a hot sauce could actually rupture your intestines and stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's something. Well, you got to be an idiot to eat that.
Well,
anyway.
3,000 people must be idiots because 3,000 people have tried to eat this chili
and
burger.
they got to pay extra to get there just to get their face on they posted on a bulletin board there.
Yeah, but only out of 3,000 people, only 59 were able to finish it.
I mean, that's something. My daughter went to when she got engaged. They wanted to get engaged. They took this trip over to New Orleans, and you ever see that show on? I forget what channel it is, a Food Network or something. That guy that eats at all these places all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, they had one, and they had a hamburger as big as this table here. It's got 8 pounds of hamburger in it, and they wanted to get this hamburger. There's only been 2 people that have ever been able to eat this thing. And the hamburger itself costs $60. And I said, how in the hell do you cook this bun that's on? I understand the hamburger, they use a pizza thing to pick it up and put it on. How the hell do they cook this bun that's on there? And then they got it loaded with lettuce and everything. There's no way. You can't even get your jaw open big enough to take a piece of that thing. I said, that's just a waste. But I don't understand. I want to see these 2 or 3 people that ate that. And they got their name on the wall. It's just crazy.
I don't know how they did it.
I watched that Man on Food or whatever it is, and he didn't do too good of a job. He was full with it. He had to go smoke some some hemp afterwards to get his stomach out. And we got in the news here. The country's going wild with this ganja stuff.
What's the latest on all this?
I mean, there's so many articles shooting out of here. It's just crazy. But now, back in our favorite state of Colorado, that's like the state now. Everybody's running around with green shirts on. They thought, it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday, and they don't even know what you're talking about because they got pot shirts on. They're wearing hats with weeds coming out the top there, They're not shamrocks. They're shamrocks? That's not shamrocks. That's fern. But now in the court, the court ruled in Colorado, I guess on Monday, that the possession of marijuana can now be overturned. So if you were arrested for having small amounts of marijuana, I'm not sure what the amountage is. Let's see. Prior to 2012, it can get overturned now. Now that it's legal in Colorado, although I don't understand that because on a federal level, it still is illegal. If they were enforcing that, these people would be arrested. But now they're starting to overturn these cases of people that were arrested for marijuana. So if you got pulled over and you had a case on your, like let's say you took it to court and on your record you got a case for being arrested for marijuana, you can get it overturned and expunged off your record now, and which you wouldn't have been able to before. So when you go get a job, it's not on your record. If you spent time in jail, they'll let you out. The other thing Colorado is talking about, because they expect a surplus of $67 million in revenue this year from pot sales alone. And since this thing has started, it's like wildfire. And they're going to start giving they're considering a refund to the taxpayers of the state. Now, what I don't understand is they still charge sales tax. They're not one of the 16 states that don't charge a sales tax, like Florida is one of those states. They still charge a sales tax. So why don't they just do away with their sales tax? Also in the news is Georgia, and unfortunately for this police officer, Georgia is not one of the states where marijuana is legal. And he got arrested for possessing marijuana that he was getting for his seriously ill wife. Unfortunately, his wife suffered from a very serious illness, which causes her to smoke marijuana. So he sneaks it out of the whatever what do they call that where they store this stuff?
Oh, I don't know.
When you go in the crime box, I don't know, that we see on TV where they store all the stuff in the back. And he signs out for it, and he was taking
the evidence room.
Evidence room. There you go.
How about that?
And so he's this marijuana is just going wild, man. It's just a matter of time before.
Do you think we're going to get it?
Yeah, I don't see how you can stop it now. I saw also in the news. I don't think I even brought the article, but the Democrats are getting together. They're going to use this in their campaign. This is going to be part of their campaign. This is almost like the abortion issue now. It's in their campaign, and they're going to use that to try to get votes for the election here in November. I guess they got to do something because the health care, I don't think they're going to get anything from that. So, what else you got there?
Well, I've got this guy who has a pet snapping turtle, and you know what he did. Can you guess what he did?
Yeah,
I think I can guess.
What did he try to do?
The guy takes his pet snapping turtle to school, and he's given a class on teaching sex education, and he's trying to teach these kids how to French kiss, and he's using this as an example, using the turtle. Everybody likes the friendly turtle, and he goes in to teach it how to French kiss. He sticks his tongue out, and the thing bites him. And it won't let go.
Will not let go of his tongue.
And I mean, his tongue and his lips swell up like a watermelon.
It happened in China.
And the thing will not let go. I'm not kidding you. The guy looks like he's got Botox. He got free Botox treatments. He said after they finally got this turtle off of him, he said, anybody want to buy a turtle for free Botox treatments? I'll make a good deal with you. I'm going to put it up on eBay and see if I can get anything out of it.
I got a really interesting story here. They built this incredible golf course in South Africa. And they're going to give you $1 million if you can hit a hole-in-one on this par 3. But in order to play this hole, you have to get in a helicopter and fly up to the top of this mountain and see if you can hit the ball in the hole. Now, the whole course is huge, and some people helped design the course, like Sergio Garcia, Padraig Harrington, Trevor Immelman. I mean, these are some other people too, but this is really a tribute course, and it has some of the longest, highest, and most dramatic par 3s in the world. And you get $1 million if you can get a hole-in-one.
$1 million?
Yeah.
But you should probably go play that then, huh?
Well, it's 587 meters. Now, in
what is that in centimeters?
Well, a meter is 3 yards.
Oh, really?
So it's about 1,500 yards away.
Oh my God!
But you're on top of a mountain, and it's the ball you hit is just going to keep traveling and traveling down till if it lands on the green, which it's not. But it's pretty incredible. I would love to see a picture of that. But that's in South Africa for all of our golfing aficionados out there.
Look at this. I got a guy's calling me on my phone. I had this guy call me earlier today. You guys know out there that I do ancient mystery items, and he wanted a Spear of Destiny. And boy, I'll tell you, some of the people out there in TV land are oddballs.
Talking about your customers, Jim.
I know it, man. I know it, but I'm an oddball. I'm an oddball. So, and speaking of that, yesterday the group wants to they want to get a global effort together to unveil UFO evidence.
About time, don't you think it's about time that everybody's involved?
I don't know what the government's big hang-up is with hiding this stuff. Just get if there's so many conspiracy theories about everything, if they just give the information out there, let's end the theories. If there's nothing out there, let's end them. If there is, then let's, what's the big secret? They've gone to Congress, and they're trying to seek international support to get in other countries. And and get something passed to release documentation. And also after there was another article about there was a bizarre skeleton, and UFO hunters were into this thing. It's called Atta. It was a bizarre skeleton about 10 inches long. And it was found in the desert in Chile. And it was used in a Sirius, which is the theory of aliens coming down to Earth and living with the Dogon tribes in Egypt and everything. And they thought this was one of these things. Now, I saw a picture of this. It looks like I sell an item that's the Loch Ness Monster. And when I was at Loch Ness, I found this old, like, skeleton bones of Nessie.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you one thing, Jim.
Okay.
You've been all over the world.
Yeah.
When you went on this trip for Loch Ness, did you write that trip off?
Sure.
Because it was business, right?
It's business, man. It's business wax.
Okay.
But the thing looked like a skeleton thing. So it was like a baby skeleton. So I make a plaque of it. It says Loch Ness, and it looks like a baby skeleton of Nessie. Well, this thing looks similar to that, only it doesn't have the tail and everything.
Is it real bone?
They said in their scientific findings that yes, it's real bones. The only thing, it had 10 ribs instead of the usual 12, and it had a severely misshaped skull, which was enhanced. That's what made them think it was an alien. And I forget what they said. After all this, they did a DNA thing on it, and they found mitochondrial DNA, which is the mother's. Was from Chile, and it was a human that had some kind of dwarfism. So it puts all the thing to end there, and and also to follow up with our marijuana thing of the day. I mean, it's just amazing how this is going wild. You know, I was at the parade. That buddy of mine, every time I see him now, because he heard it on our radio show here. He invested in these companies. He's like, went up another, $20
Did he
a
tell
share.
You that?
Yeah, he's making.
During this last
he
parade?
said he had to take $50,000 out because he's making so much money, and so he. And I saw an article again today. There's companies like Dot Bong and Marijuana Inc. and the Green Rush, and all kinds of names like this. And there are people, and they call them pot prospectors, and they're of all stripes. Microsoft, people from Microsoft, veterans, farmers, real estate agents, pastry chefs, former journalists, and they're all trying to get their fortunes in this stock market while this thing is still going here. It's like the .com. Remember the .com?
Right, sure.
Yeah. And they're trying to get all this stuff going.
Yeah, I only lost about $10,000 in the .com bust.
Well, you know me, I'm pretty. I put it in there for the long term, and I didn't really go after any stocks or anything except long term. And you could see they got a track record, so I'm not going to lose any great amount of money or anything. I just make my, 7 to 10% a year. And
you're a smart guy.
And I'm able to come in here and talk on the Random Talk. Call on in, folks, at 727-441-3000. We'd love to hear from you. Let's hear your humorous story of the week. So what's next on the agenda?
I got some really sick stuff. I go to the gym.
Well, you're a sick guy, man.
A few nights a week. And in Brazil, there's this guy like Popeye, and he injects his arms with oil and alcohol to make his biceps look huge, like Popeye, and that's why they call him Popeye. And even when he doesn't flex his arm is 29 inches around, and this isn't a big guy, but his arms are huge. And when he relaxes, the whole thing just flops over like a whale's fin, you know. And it's so ugly. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that people do stuff like that.
Now, how could he do that? How could he inject? I saw the guy's picture. How could the guy inject oil into his arm and have it stay?
He's not the only one.
I guess that would be like Botox, right?
No, it's nothing like Botox.
Well, what do they do with Botox? Do they shoot something into your lips or something?
Eyes or your forehead, things like that. And what it does is you see the wrinkles are from skin tightening down, and what this does is it loosens up the muscles, and the Botox causes the muscles to be more elastic and puff up.
I heard they do this to animals, like, beaver tails. And
yeah,
right. That used to be I was reading my ancient mystery, or I got a book of tidbits that I read when I'm on the throne.
Yeah. Is it the Bathroom Secrets?
Yeah, the Backroom Secrets book.
I almost brought that.
And
there's some good stuff in there.
King Henry VIII, at his table, it said what he used to eat, and he used to eat 1,500 pounds of beaver tail a year. And I never heard it, but it was classified as a fish. So they used to eat it on Friday when they couldn't eat fish. Now we know beaver's not like a fish, but I guess because it was in the water, they could eat it it was classified at one time as a fish, so you could eat it as a...
I'm not bailing you out of this. I'm letting you do this story.
Now, Cedric, I want you to know, Paul's number one thing when he goes out on Friday night is beaver tail.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
You knew where I was going with that, didn't
you? Yeah. His face is turning red.
Well, what else you got, Jimmy?
Well, you want to hear about the squirrel tail?
No, but let me finish my golf story.
Go ahead.
My golf story. When these guys are up in the mountains, they take this helicopter. And,
yeah, I was looking at a video of it,
and they give you 6 balls to play this one hole, and you get a helicopter, 6 balls, and you get this what's it called? Tracking device, so you can go after the ball. And the helicopter takes you down.
It has a tracking device too.
Well,
huh?
Yeah, there's a tracking device that they loan you. You don't get it for to keep, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you have to.
And it's made by some realistic.
Well, I saw the one holes up on like a mountaintop, and you hit the ball, and the holes are real long. It's a long golf course. Now, golf courses range in size, right? I know there's a par 3. Forget about the par 3s. But are par 4 golf courses, not par 4 golf, but regular size golf, are they pretty much the same size, or do they vary?
They're around 6,100 to 7,200 yards.
So like if you're going to go on a pro tour, those guys that play on the tour, those golf courses have to be about a certain size.
About 7,000 plus yards. That's what the pros play.
Yeah, you can't have one that's 1,000 and one that's 600 or something like that.
No, and you can't hit a ball 1,000. But, there's all kinds of things like in the commercials. They have some pretty neat commercials for golf now. They've got Tiger Woods standing on top of the skyscraper trying to hit it over to another top of a skyscraper, and that's really freaky.
Now, Tiger Woods, did you see his new girlfriend?
Yes, I did.
Wasn't she in the Olympics and she got kicked out or something?
No, she didn't get kicked out. She was a top Olympic skier.
She broke her foot?
No, she hurt her knee.
Oh, her knee. Okay. See, I got it there. I knew the story, right? I knew Tiger Woods had a new girlfriend. I just didn't know what. I went from ice skating.
Lindsey
to
Vonn.
Yeah.
How do you remember this stuff?
She's a good-looking girl. In case I ever meet her, I want to know her name.
Hey, well, when you're out on the scene, you can get some new gifts out. I ran across this when I was looking looking up some stuff.
What kind of gifts?
Well, there's a company and they provide mystery boxes. You know, everybody's sick of. Cedric's showing us a picture of her.
That's Lindsey Vonn.
Do you see why Tiger likes Lindsey Vonn?
Yeah, it looks like she's pregnant, man. What is he having another kid? Oh. Just kidding. Anyway, this company, everybody's sick of, you go into Publix or someplace and you got to get one of these gift cards and you decide, where do you want to go? What restaurant you want to give it to, and you don't really know what to do, whether to get a restaurant gift card or one for a shopping store to get, DVDs or something. Well, this company, they'll make that decision for you. And they got mystery boxes. And you pay them a certain amount. They have boxes from $18 to $40. And then they have categories. And then they send the box.
Like, what are the categories?
Well, this is where it gets fun. They got fun and games, the fun and games box, and then they got them rated by X, R, PG, and G. So obviously you would want to send your mom an Xbox. Even though if she's got an Xbox on her list, she may not mean this Xbox. She may mean the one they sell at Walmart. The spicy box. This one's really weird because it's a spicy box, and I don't know if it means food spicy or British slang, sexual in nature spicy. But that's rated X, R, PG, and G also. Then you got the unusual box. I don't know what that means at all. And then, of course, you got the food porn box. Well, that's probably interesting, right?
Sounds interesting.
Maybe it'll have some squirrel tail in there. The home and lifestyle box, and then also this company also sells, besides the boxes, they sell these creative personality mermaid glass cups, and they're kind of interesting. They look like a pint of ale glass.
Right.
And then inside the pint of ale, there's almost like a martini, but what it is the shape of a mermaid. So they pour the drink inside that. So it's like you got a pint of ale, but the drink's really inside this mermaid. So if you're drinking like a blue martini or something, and that drink's inside this mermaid tail, it's kind of a unique thing. Women probably like that stuff. And that's $18 for one, or you can put a wine in there or whatever. And I guess you can put those glasses in the freezer and freeze them up, and then put the drinks in there. So it holds 4.23 ounces. So I guess that's what, double shots.
And shot is an ounce and a half.
Well, you're the big bartender.
Ounce and a half, or you can have a 2-ounce shot.
I have a hard time making my Mountain Dews.
So, what do you got in this day in history? Yesterday in history, because we didn't talk about yesterday.
Well, I think it's important. Yesterday in history, St. Patrick's Day, everybody knows, but it's celebrating the death of St. Patrick's Day. Actually, it's 461 A.D. In Saul Downpatrick, Ireland. Much of what we know about St. Patrick's comes from his book called The Confessional that he wrote during his years. He was actually born in Great Britain, probably in Scotland, to a well-to-do Christian family of Roman citizenship. He was captured and enslaved at the age of 16 by Irish marauders, and he spent in indentured servitude for the next 6 years. He went back to in Ireland and found his family, though, and got back with them. And then he's known for being the voice of Christianity and had converted over 433 people, preaching the gospel. And this was in 461, much earlier than I thought. I was in a conversation with a guy last night, and it was like I thought it was 1500 or something. Now, most people don't know this, but and they've been celebrating St. Patrick's Day in Great Britain and Ireland for, literally since he died. But the first St. Patrick's Day parade was where?
New York City.
You got it. Now, I
Really?
got into it with an English guy last night, and he said that, no, that's not true. And I said, it is true. Well, I didn't want to continue it. He was drunk and doing his thing. So, and also, that, it's kind of funny, but Ireland is, for Christianity, is really one of the landmark places. You got any quotes of the day for us?
Yeah, I do. Vision is the true creative rhythm. That was by Robert Delaunay.
How true is that?
And then here's one that we preach here. Exchange ideas frequently. And that's what we're about.
And that's a good thing. I mean, that really, I probably do that every place I go, whether people want to hear it or not.
I like this one. The person lives twice who lives the first life well.
There you go.
And here's another one. You must be in tune with the times and prepared to break with tradition. Oh, I love this one. Nobody understands anyone 18, including those who are 18.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our kids, man. That's the problem, getting the point across to them, is they don't understand themselves anyway.
Well, I guess that's it for today.
And we want to thank everybody that listened to us.
You have any ideas that you want us to talk about on the radio?
I'm going to have another parade. My birthday ends this Saturday, and I'm going to live it up again. And thanks for listening to everybody out there. And remember, this is Random Talk with Paul and Jim, and this is the Lean, Mean
Talking Machine.
There you go. Thanks for listening, folks.
WTAN, Clearwater, Tampa Bay. WDCF, Dade City, Tampa Bay. WZHR, Zephyr Hills, Tampa Bay. Listen,